Yo, we are back. This is episode 3 of the 1ELEVEN show. I got my co-host here with me, Chaz. Y'all seen him in the last 2 episodes, you know what I'm saying?
What's
Y'all
good
know
with you?
you know what I'm saying? We got a new guest, or should I say co-host,
Yeah,
Baltimore's finest, Anthony Scott.
yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? How you doing today, bro?
Good, man. Y'all know the slow. Can't say too much about it. Y'all know the slow.
We got B Moore's finest in the building, man. This is a pleasure. Y'all know what y'all in for.
Before we get into this, I'm going to ask y'all to please like, comment, and subscribe. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Whoever been rocking with us since the beginning of the week last week, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for sticking with us. We gonna keep bringing these podcasts out. We gonna keep putting out content. I'm tripping, but y'all been seeing the clips, the shorts. Trying to grow the Instagram. We on Spotify now. Working on Apple Music. We getting there. We gonna get that for y'all. If y'all riding in the car, y'all can listen to us. Y'all ain't gotta have YouTube open.
Yeah.
Y'all can find us on Spotify now too. You know what I'm saying? Spotify is free. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I'm gonna kick it off. But I'm gonna switch it up a little bit to start this one off. I'm gonna start with an icebreaker. It ain't nothing sports, but I'm gonna ask y'all, as a shorty, first album y'all had or listened to, because I know everybody ain't had no CD. So, you know what I'm saying? Tap in. I'm going to start it off. My first album was Get Rich or Die Trying. I took from my older brother. And I think I snuck his CD player too, you know what I'm saying, in his headphones. Or I might have got some for Easter, a birthday gift for Christmas or something. But that was my first one. And then when we had the Xbox, I had Kanye albums on there. I found the little burn CDs and threw them in there. Then Graduation, and then a little later down the line, I had 808s and Heartbreak.
Hey, that's a great question, bro. Honestly, I can't even remember my first one. Um, I just remember basically going straight to streaming for music for me because we wasn't playing no secular music in my household. You tried to bring a CD in that wasn't Kirk, that wasn't Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't Fred. It wasn't going. So yeah, I can't even speak to the first album, bro. But yeah, I was big on that streaming move. I feel like
So you could
I
say
want to
Kirk.
say
I mean, that count. That stuff count.
that
It might
count, but
not be what
still
I listen to.
none of that was mine though. You feel me?
Hmm.
Yeah,
My,
go ahead, A Scott.
I know my first album was Price of Fame by Wow. I played it on repeat like 20 times. I got it for Christmas back in '06, and I got a CD player to match with it with some headphones. And I used to go in the tub and listen to the one with who was it, Chris Brown on it. Yeah. I used to try to rap and go to the school and say it to the little Jody, that's how I kind of did that. But yeah, that was a pretty good album though. That's still one of my best albums though. But Bow Wow, he goaded forever. We just gotta say that off the rip.
All
Yeah, I
right,
think I
man.
was in third grade when that came out.
Yeah.
Cause I definitely remember listening to that on like probably a iPod or something like that, or MP3 before school, in elementary school for sure. It could have been fourth grade, but yeah, I definitely remember that. That was some heat.
Yeah, Bow Wow was that guy for a hot minute, man. He had it on lock, dog. Guy Bow Wow. Then the good gospel music. I'm saying Taz was raised right.
Raised right, raised righteous.
But we done had a crazy first round. I'm about to change gears. I know we just hopped out the music bag, but this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about everything when y'all with us. I know we sports guys, but we gonna cover everything. But now I'm gonna get to these playoffs, these NBA playoffs, and I'm a highlight who I think been doing an amazing, phenomenal job. I'm giving they flowers. You know what I'm saying? Drop flags in the chat. You know what I'm saying? The 111 checker flags, drop them for my boy Jimmy Butler last night, putting the heat on his back. Now it looked like the Heat was down and out the beginning of that fourth and going into halftime. It looked like the Bucks had that game in control, but Jimmy Butler absolutely exploded. You know what I'm saying? Classic playoff Jimmy buckets. The boy dropped 56. You know what I'm saying? That was almost like half day points. So and he like tied for third, I think, like right behind Donovan Mitchell with 56. He missed a free throw. So, but this is like super clutch and unheard of for a eight to be. Well, Miami not a regular eight because they got Jimmy Butler, but they absolutely like dominated the last 5 minutes of that game, and Jimmy Butler shows why he was up for the Clutch Player of the Year award. And now the Heat is looking at eliminating the number one seed, and many people who thought the Bucks would be the championship team, they'd be competing for another title, but they on the brink of elimination, man. So Chaz, you want to chime in?
Mr. Butler, I am sorry. I gotta pop it off with an apology. That's how crazy Jimmy Butler is going, bro. I remember on our preview pod where we previewed all the series. I was not alone, but I will say it first. I picked the Heat to get swept by the Bucks, and after the Heat won game 2, I said that's cool. Giannis gonna get rid of him in 5. The Bucks gonna get rid of him in 5. Here we are looking at a 3-1 series that the Heat are leading, and nobody saw it coming because nobody put the proper respect, on Jimmy Bucket's name. So yeah, he's been going crazy. It's been fun to watch, especially yesterday's game. Um, I thought it was over, bro. I'm like, okay, what time LA on? I'm
Mm.
ready to move to the next game. And next thing you know, the Heat go on a 13-0 run. 5 minutes left. They let the Heat score 13 points in a row before they finally called a timeout. That's ridiculous. Jimmy is a shark, bro. He smelled blood in the water, and once he got on that run, it was over with. There was nothing they were gonna do to stop him. That was it. It was through. Talk to me, A Skizzle.
Well, here's the deal with you. Here's the deal. Jimmy Butler has missed meals before. That's how you play basketball when you haven't been fed right. He has not been fed right from a social aspect of how they rank him in the league. When people say Jimmy Butler is not a top 10 player, I go look at that game performance and say, wow. But, however, I will say this. He's kind of like a Donovan Mitchell, but he's just a little bit more seasoned than Donovan Mitchell because some days he's on, some days he's not. But I always felt that the Heat still had a good team. They just needed that star player. And even though Harrell's out, I feel like that gave Jimmy a little bit more leeway to do what he needs to do. Um, now, as far as the Bucks, look, let's be honest. Giannis got spine busted. He got DDT. His back is cooked. It's
Yeah,
it's cooked. A back,
yeah.
it's a back glute. It's hard. I think that the Bucks are not coming back. So I mean, Jimmy definitely deserves the respect. And like I said, he always been tough, and I think he got that bad narrative because he like to push people. To be he kind of has that Kobe effect. Like everybody hates him now, but when he retires and like think about his greatness, they'll call him one of the greats.
If you think about playoff Jimmy, He reminds me the most of like the stories and the legend that you hear about Michael Jordan. Just from the aspect of, hey, every time he step on that court, he feels like he's really the best player out there. He out there with Giannis, Drew, Middleton. He ain't worried about none of them. He gave him 56 hot buckets. And
Giving them they props too. He gave them they props that they good defenders, but it's just better offense.
they
It was
good
just better.
defenders.
It was
But
better offense.
watch me pull up in transition and hit two threes in a row after I'm done banging on somebody, bro. Like it's just insane what he's doing, bro. So
I knew
all
when the
props to
threes
Jimmy.
started to fall, they was in trouble.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It was nothing they could do to stop them. They kind of weathered the storm, but a little back and forth.
Now,
But
when
let's
they
get to
had
that.
Struce Little, little Struce Little, go flying to the lane like a wombat. He laying him up with the finger roll. I said, yeah, it's over with. It's done. It's Cook County.
But yeah, man, how y'all feel about Giannis? You know, 2-time MVP. Is that right? Defensive Player of the Year,
Yeah.
regarded as a top 5 player in the league, and he's a number 1 seed. We saw the scrutiny that LeBron got in Cleveland, and like some of these other guys have gotten, like other superstars, like people like Kobe, and you know what I'm saying, like a Shaq, maybe like we go into MJ's and down the line, and Steph Curry's, the scrutiny they have gotten for their performances in the playoffs. Now I know the man was hurt and he got injured, but y'all know, like I know, if you're an athlete and you get on that court, that field, that pitch, whatever it is, that field, and you out there, you got to perform, and you expected to perform to the best of your ability, like an MVP, like a Defensive Player of the Year, even if you only 70%. So how much I feel like he like a media darling, and he don't really get a lot of bad press.
Yep.
But first round exit to an 8th seed,
Hey, whoa. Pump the brakes there now. I do still believe Milwaukee's gonna win this series. Despite being down 3-1, I think the Bucks will come back and win this series.
I'm not counting him out. I'm just saying, like, if he's out of here, how does this look? How does this look on Giannis?
All right. Let me take this from the top then. Because I'm gonna say this first off. After you win a chip, I feel like the scrutiny kind of changes, right? So people have to be more cautious and take a back seat with coming at your playoff performances because you already got it done. Like most of those star players you named, when that scrutiny was coming, it was before they had their chip or it was LeBron, right? Because LeBron gonna get it regardless. But for Giannis, like you said, he is a media darling. Everybody loves him in the media, and I feel like he's really benefiting off that bail money of already having one in his back pocket. Um, if we want to speak hypothetically, if he did lose this series, it would be a tragedy. It would be a big tarnish on his legacy for now. But I honestly still think they pull it out. I think they win it.
I like it. I like to take if they come back from 3-1.
I don't
Yeah,
I don't believe that's gonna happen. And I do agree. I do believe that Giannis is a media darling. They love him so much. He's so positive. Oh, I want to be like LeBron James, like they did like Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's all good, but you can't be out there getting spine busted and DDT to where you can't show up. So I feel like, and that's kind of how I feel about like how the John Morant thing is. Like they're gonna say, oh well, he hurt his hand, so he wasn't. It's like you dropped 45. Like Giannis still had a triple double, I believe,
Yeah,
with a
Giannis
bad
still
back.
balled. He balled.
So I think I think Jimmy was his leadership and his star power was way greater than Giannis. And honestly, I don't think Giannis is a top 5 player. I don't. I think that he's one bad Euro
I
away.
take y'all.
He's one bad Euro away from being Michael Beasley. I'm just going to say that.
Hey,
I'm
hey, put some respect on
I'm
That
Michael
is
Beasley.
absurd.
No. Mike is tough, but I'm saying it as far as career wise, like Giannis really gets most of his game from fouls. Like people, if you ever look at it, people strategically don't put superstar defenders on him because they're scared of them getting fouled out. That's really what it is. If you
Dude,
actually
okay,
like look
so
at it.
I I agree with you if it was 2017. Like I hated Giannis's game the first majority, big majority of his career, bro. Because I'm like, all Giannis gonna do is come to the cup and put up a nasty ass Euro step, and either he gonna convert or he not, and that's that. But I feel like he has really broadened his game offensively and defensively so much over these last few years.
I know somebody at DU right now who's a hoop better than Giannis.
Is he 7 foot?
Nah, but it don't matter
Is he
because
jumping over people?
it
Like
don't.
literally over players?
Well, well, if I got a foul every time I went to the cup, I'll be all star. If I could average literally, I think Giannis gets fouled the most in the league. I think it's maybe behind LeBron, but
Part of that is because nobody can stop him though.
I
He's
wouldn't
earning those fouls.
I wouldn't say that he hoops like he in jail though. Like I get it, but like at the same time, I don't want to be disrespectful. Giannis is a good player. I think that in the park we would just throw him oops. I would never trust him to bring the ball up. That's just how I feel about it. I still think he's a good player. Defensively, I still think he's a great player.
Yep.
All around though, I think his game is very weak compared to other NBA players. I think that the fouls really save him because if he never get none of the fouls, the team would not strategize to like not put their best defender on him. Because we put LeBron
Yeah.
on Giannis, yeah, I feel like LeBron would clamp Giannis every time. Same thing with AD.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just saying.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Speaking of LeBron and AD,
Yep.
the Lakers are now up 3-1 on the Memphis Grizzlies. And we got to give some flowers, not to the star players, but the supporting cast. Because now, last time we was here, we was talking about how Dylan Brooks called out LeBron, so on and so forth. You ain't give me 40, da 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 da. And that seemed to set off the whole entire Lakers organization, not including the players because they all stepped up to play. But you know what I'm saying? When they was in LA, Dylan Brooks couldn't even hold on to the ball. He hitting people in the groin, so on and so forth. He doing everything but playing basketball. But the man set off the entire roster. In the first game, they up 30 plus points and then Ja go on some crazy run. I think it's empty calories. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Lakers, they
It
turn it on and
was.
turn it off whenever they want to, which is that's another topic for another time. But yeah, the Lakers supporting cast. We talk about that. They performed amazing in LA, then they went to Memphis and they handled business.
Yeah, I mean, to throw it back to our preview pod of the series, I believe I think we all picked LA to win, correct?
Yeah, we said in 6.
Yeah. I know I said in 6 for sure. Um I'm about ready to say 5. Uh Now, I'm not going to because Memphis is going back home. And we saw this last year when they was down 3-1 to Golden State. They went back home. They was up 50 on Golden State at one point and then lost game 6. But the Lakers, I honestly did not play that great yesterday. AD was putrid. He was awful. He was god awful. But LeBron, dude, this dude's 38. His gravity alone is enough to carry the Lakers deep into the playoffs this year. Dude had 20 and 20 yesterday. And on top of that, he had, what was it, the game tying layup with zero point 0.8 seconds left over Jaren Jackson and Xavier Tillman, two centers, and one of them is the defensive player of the year. He's doing this at 38, bro. He's doing whatever he wants. And then 30 seconds left in OT, he hits the dagger on Dylan Brooks with an and one. So we could talk about the role players, right? Rui played mid yesterday. He had like 7, whatever. Austin Reeves had like 14. But the stars are who's going to carry LA deep into this playoff run. And LeBron showed up yesterday. AD did not. But hey, the king is enough.
It was timely. It was timely buckets. I was more so giving them their flowers for the game previous. You know what I'm
Absolutely. Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But D'Lo showed up and he had some timely threes, like 3 in a row, I believe. And then Reeves hit a nice 3. Now you don't need crazy, like you don't need 30, you don't need 15 straight from Reeves every game. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a LeBron and an AD, but in nights where they're lacking, you need that 9 extra points from D'Lo because LeBron was 1 for 7 from 3.
Yeah. D'Lo was
Now
crucial.
this is LeBron. Like I said, I wanted to a couple pods ago. I think it was the preview one too. You want him to get a little bit more aggressive in times like that, and that's where like I find my biggest, you know what I'm saying, critique on him. I know is make the right basketball play, but you know what I'm saying, on 2 defenders, like you said, defensive player of the year and Tillman, you know what I'm saying, that would be a play, you know what I'm saying. It might be somebody open where he could have looked to pass, but he did not. He took it to the cup. Best driver of the basketball in the history of the game. Took it to the cup. You know, wasn't scared, fearless. I don't think anybody ever need to doubt that. But man, took it.
Yeah. To add to that, I really I look at the Lakers bubble championship team, and most people forget that they were the number 1 defensive team in the league that year. They were built around defense. And LeBron just happened to lead the league in assists that year. Him and AD got it rolling offense.
It is around LeBron's pass first mentality because you got D'Lo spot up shooter, Rui spot up shooter, Malik spot up shooter, Austin Reeves spot up shooter, and now you can really add AD in there too because as you've seen in the last 4 minutes, he passed the ball out to AD. AD hit one in front of Ja face from deep. So you have nothing but spot up shooters, and then those spot up shooters are really 3 and D players. If you guys think about it, Vando, he's not really a 3-point shooter, but he can play the 5, the 4, and the 3, and then he guards from 1 to 5.
He's guarding
So
Ja.
He guards 1 to 5.
yeah,
Yep.
that's a crazy. I like him. Rui, man, he's so tough. Like I feel like
He
he's
got
one of those.
confidence.
He's one of those big defenders. That's like he kind of remind me of like my favorite Kyle Kuzma, dog. Kyle Kuzma really had a bag in LA, but it's just because he was with Braun, he had to chill the bag down. But I feel like Rui fit better with Braun because they all like everybody's inspired.
Now, I brought you on. We on the Lakers. We gonna talk about a former coach of the Lakers. Why I brought you here? Because I know you strongly opinionated. My brother pro black, and we got a former coach of the Lakers and the Bulls, Phil Jackson, saying he did not he's not watching anymore and he's not a fan anymore because in 2020 they had social justice movements on the courts, on the jerseys. Equality was passing to freedom, and that's how he put it, something like that, something crazy. And he thought they was bringing the wrong attention. They was bringing politics into sports. But we know, as black men on this panel right now, that politics have always been in sports. And Phil, being a hippie, Zen master, somebody, you know, he knows this. This is cap. He can't be this dense. I don't believe it. So I want y'all to weigh in, and then we gonna get into this NFL talk.
Hey Scott, the floor is yours, man. You got it first. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I like Phil Jackson, but this is what I've always said. I always said that sports hides who people really are. Just like the coach that was down in Auburn, coach always like this, calling the N word and saying Atlanta's full of Negroes and all this stuff like that. They are all the same. Just because they coach you does not mean they love you or they have good intent to, or how they think about you. So up what Phil said, kind of like what Jalen Rose said, like all these people made money for you. The Triangle Three, yeah, you made that up, but the Triangle Three was made on black backs. I mean, I
It
don't
was
understand
off the backs of one of the
how
players I'm
uh,
wearing today. This
two of the
8 right
greatest
here.
players, two of the greatest players, and you got the nerve to say that politics. That's how they think. That's how the whole generation thinks about politics. Even some black too. Even some black people feel the same way. Like, oh, we leave that away. It's kind of like those saying they said, "I talk about religion and politics at the table." But those are the main things that keep you alive. So I think that's I would never even talk about it. If I was like Scott, one of the players that he coached, I'd be like, I feel what you said was wrong, and we just gonna leave it like that. It's kind of it's a grown man stuff.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy that he said politics should not be brought into sports. Like you said, Melly, politics is all over sports. The national anthem, that's political. Um, all the support the troops. You see the commercials before football games. We got F-15s flying over the stadiums. That's politics. Speaking of the stadiums, who bought them? Taxpayers? Or did it come out the billionaire's pocket? Probably about 80% of them were bought by taxpayers.
Let's get to
That's
that.
politics.
Let's get into it.
That's politics.
Let's get into it.
So I love how Phil wants to pick and choose when he thinks politics belongs in sports, but
It's convenient when it's convenient. That's what it feels
yeah,
like. It's convenience. But
when it's
we
convenient,
gave an idiot enough time. Now let's change gears. Like I said, gave him enough time. Now we gonna move on. We gonna move on. Blockbuster trade. It's
you're
official. We'd all been speculating it. Now it's official. It's here. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. And the Jets believed they were a quarterback away. And now the 4-time MVP, late 30s quarterback, mind you, is now a New York Jet. And it's Super Bowl. Is it Super Bowl or bust for the New York Jets?
it 1000% is indeed Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. It is certainly Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. Hey Scott, what you think?
Those picks they gave him is going to kill him in the future.
Oh, I'm gonna get into that.
It's going to kill him in the future. And it's kind of reminds me of the Jets before when they did that to I believe it was Brett Favre. They gave away a lot of picks to somebody. I can't remember what team. Maybe it was the, but what it doesn't matter. But anyway, those picks always come back to haunt every team that they do that. They try to make a market.
Every league.
They try to like overcomplicate it. What they should have did was they should have just spent the money and built their quarterback up instead of and get the quarterback the weapons that they need. Because I think that Mike Ryan, what's the other guy? I think they're all decent
Zach
quarterbacks.
Wilson.
Yeah, you can win with a decent quarterback. You should have built up your defense. We all know as NFC, you can win with an amazing defense and a quarterback. You look at the Ravens in the past two Super Bowls that we won. Great defense, average quarterback. It can work. And it's always in the AFC. Just because Pat Mahomes win it don't mean that Pat Mahomes can win it with an amazing offense and a subpar defense. So I think they just kind of threw everything in. And like you said, Super Bowl or bust.
I think times are changing though, Ant. I don't think you can win the AFC without one of these X Factor game changing quarterbacks. And I think the Jets realize that. If you look around the AFC, you see let's just name them. We got Mahomes, we got Burrow, we got Jalen, we got Lamar as of now. Who else we got? We got Deshaun. He ain't going nowhere. We got Justin Herbert. We got Trevor Lawrence. Right? The Jets had the sixth best defense in the league last year. That's off DVOA. I don't know what they were in total scoring defense, but you're going to need a quarterback in the playoffs to put you over the edge. And I do believe that they overpaid for him. Let me get to these details real quick. All right, so the Packers, they moved up 2 spots in this draft. They got the 42nd overall pick in this draft, which is a top 10 pick for the second round. And then they get the Jets second rounder next year, which could turn into a first rounder if Rodgers plays at least 65% of the snaps.
Of course he is.
On top of that, the Jets also have to pay this dude $60 million, at least 50 something on the cap. So that means that they believe that they are able and ready to win right now. It's got to be Super Bowl or bust, because you just leverage the whole future of the franchise. You're taking years away from developing a quarterback that you have in house, and you're going all in on, hey, we got to win right now.
I think them quarterbacks. I'm gonna take a different approach, or I'm a piggyback off your quarterback talk. All right. So what they had in house, Zach Wilson obviously wasn't very successful this year. They brought in Mike White. He was benched at one point. Mike White was injured. They had to bring in a guy off the street. But you know what I'm saying? I don't like the fans booing Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think, because Robert Saleh took over and Zach Wilson was QB. You know how these coaches is. They want the team in their image. And I don't think Robert Saleh, his attitude coming from San Fran, being a defensive guy, I don't think Zach Wilson's attitude matched up with Saleh's persona and his attitude towards the team. I feel like Zach Wilson was very immature, I should say, and that's not what he wants out of his quarterback. He wasn't taking any accountability, and especially like Zach Wilson wasn't helping his case either. I'm not gonna make no excuses for him, but he wasn't helping his case with saying he don't feel bad for his defense being a defensive player. If you get up on that podium and you do think you don't take no accountability for your play, and we out here we getting the ball, we playing hard. You know what I'm saying?
I
I know
forgot
we
about
I know
that.
we get paid, but we playing hard. And for you to get up there and you basically you lay an egg on the field and you don't want to take no accountability, man. That right there would have got you benched if I'm him, like off that alone, bro. So I think I think Wilson has some maturity issues, and now it's looking like he gonna have to find a second life somewhere else, because that ship has sailed. Aaron Rodgers looks like the guy going forward, and I don't think you can ever repair that confidence. His confidence is shattered. He needs a new change of scenery. But yeah, man, I that's how I feel about the Jet situation. I think it's Super Bowl for bust, a Super Bowl or bust for them boys too. But
Yep.
I'm gonna switch gears again.
Now,
I'm
hold
gonna
on,
get us.
bro. Hold on. Let me add this to it too, because I think this is important. I do think that the Packers won this trade, but I do also believe that this is what's going to put the Jets into the conversation of being a contender. They would not be a contender without this. Now, we got a Baltimore Ravens fan on the pod right now, and I got to ask, why go after a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers when you could basically just give Baltimore 2 first round picks and pay Lamar whatever he was asking for? It was going to be less than what you're doing for Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's two things. I think one comes from the idea of collusion. I believe that the NFL's collusion against Lamar because the stuff that happened with Deshaun Watson in the deal. I think they don't want to guarantee that much money because every other quarterback after them would do that. I think it was collusion, 100%. Number two, I always think that, like you said, Melvin said earlier, people want to see the image of themselves in their quarterback. Rob Sala, yeah, he's not no Lamar Jackson. You know, see what I'm saying? Now, if it was D'Amico Ryans, I feel like D'Amico Ryans will be a good fit for Lamar because
I
that's
I think Robert Saleh relates more to Lamar than he does Aaron Rodgers.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I feel like yeah.
I can agree. I think with Lamar's style, I don't think that he can consistently see himself with that, especially for with the targets that they have, because they have some receiving targets. I think that everybody's kind of hesitant because of the last two playoff games, like him getting injured, and I think all of that. The media cosplay gets into all of it. But I think number one is definitely the colluding the league. I think everybody paid 200, and that's what I believe. I don't think the Ravens did that, but I think that the Ravens knew that the NFL was going to do that. So that's why the Ravens were like, they didn't want freaking out. And it worked. I mean, it worked now because nobody's trying to touch Lamar because they're like, yeah, okay, we'll just get somebody in the draft.
Wow.
Right, because I
So
feel
everybody
like
kept their money.
everybody
Everybody
kept
kept
their
their money.
Collusion.
They
pockets on
kept
him. This is what's crazy though, is because I feel like the Jets could have knocked out two birds with one stone. Rodgers gives them the ability to win now at the cost of their future. Lamar could have gave them the ability to win now and build towards the future. And
Yeah.
like you said, collusion it has to be a part of this, bro, because there's no way that all these teams in the league who are absolutely terrible at evaluating quarterbacks and don't have a quarterback worth nothing on their roster right now.
their award. Seemed like it was almost unanimous.
Who?
Paulo
Paulo,
Banchero, the forward, Orlando
Oh,
Magic.
oh yeah, yeah,
well
yeah.
deserved.
Yeah,
He was hooping.
you talking about Didi.
Yeah, Paulo was hooping, bro. Paulo definitely deserved it. I mean, um, you see Jabari had some issues being in Houston. They call Houston the AAU squad, the way them boys be hooping. Them
They
boys be out there
yeah.
running 3-man weaves, fast breaking, and playing ISO ball. So it's gonna be hard
They
to find success in that type of atmosphere. So yeah, Paulo was the guy, and I feel like his only real comp. I mean, Jaden Ivey, he had a good year, whatever. It was kind of quiet, fought some injuries, but his real comp was gonna be Chet, and Chet got hurt before the season. So yup, Paulo, easy money, clean sweep.
from the votes, it looked like who was next up after him, Jalen Williams. He had a
OKC, yep,
yeah, he had a good year. OKC on
he
the up and
bought
up. Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler got two first place
the
votes.
sheriff, yep,
But yeah, Benedict Bethune from the Pacers.
Benedict Mathurin. Sold a lot of
Yeah.
parlays this year.
Mm.
And then Keegan Murray. He was on my fantasy team. Shout out to Keegan Murray.
Keegan Sweet.
He was good. He was good off the bench for me. But yeah, man. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Shout out to Paulo, man. Shout out to the Magic. But Kings Fox plans to play despite the finger fracture. I don't really
Yep.
think he wasn't much of a shooter. I feel like if it's affecting your finger, like it'll be more of like a shooting like type injury. So bro is a driver of the ball. It's probably gonna hurt dribbling. Now that I think about it, dribbling the ball. But it looked like bro playing. Throw the splint on. Get after it, cuz.
Has anybody been more lucky than Golden State when it comes to playing people who get injured in a
Right on
playoff
time.
series?
Right on time too.
Every bro, I could poke a hole in every single chip they got. I'm not going to because we respect the Splash Bros. Them boys nice, but I feel like Golden State always benefits from somebody getting injured every year. And if they happen to win this series against Sac, who I still think has a chance to beat them, if Fox is gonna play through it, um, I feel like he'll be effective still just off the adrenaline and his play style, like you said.
It
If
can't it
if
can't go
if Golden
without
State
saying though.
wins this way, bro, them boys been doing something, bro. They've been
You
doing
putting an
something right.
asterisk? I think you throwing subs at the asterisk on
I
the
got
on.
all types of stars on Golden State rings. Every ring with KD, asterisk, simple. 2015 when Brown was out there with Deleva D Leaguer, pushed him to 6,
The
averaged
Curry
40, 10,
stopper.
and 10. The Curry stopper, who was on the IV every time after he played Curry. Yeah, bro. Golden State is full of ass.
They do got asterisks. I wasn't a fan of the KD move at all. So but they won. So, eh.
They
I
better
feel like they
have.
got a little piece of karma. You hate to see players injured, but like when they played the Raptors, everybody was kind of boo-hooing about it. Well, not I don't want to say everybody, but people was boo-hooing about it that they, you know,
Yeah.
you know, Achilles, you got ACL. Steph was by himself, and then they was fresh off the Cavs saga, so you had the people looking at it like, hey, LeBron went there by himself, and y'all had KD, and then Kyrie broke his kneecap one series, and he only had Kevin Love. But I digress. I think they still in the dogfight. I think it still goes 7.
Yeah, it's definitely still a
But
series.
Steph
It's still a
Curry is
series.
playing insane. He playing crazy. And then it looked like Andrew Wiggins finally it clicked for him. You know what I'm saying? He had a little time off. The boy hooping. Clay is Clay. You know what I'm saying? Consistent Clay. But we're gonna see
Now,
game 6
you
Clay.
know, there's one more guy we got to talk about on that Golden State team,
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, the fearmonger himself.
Putting the
What
fear
he
of God in them
did
boys.
in Game 4 against Sacramento was it was Defensive Player of the Year worthy. It was Aaron Donald. It was Lawrence Taylor. It was Micah Parsons, all in one, bro. I see Sabonis coming down the court. Draymond sit down on it, pick his pocket. We in the under 2 minutes, right? You supposed to be taking care of the ball. Draymond's ripping the ball out of dudes' hands. He's forcing dudes to take step back jumpers. They're shooting 30 feet away from the basket with under 2 minutes left because nobody is willing to go at Draymond because he's that much of a defensive presence. What he did showed you why he deserved that 27.5 million they paying him this year, bro. Because he was the difference in Game 4. Hats off to Mr. Green, Sag Nasty native. Yes, sir, 989. You
He
see it?
another one of those players that they show up like he got that Jimmy Butler type of effect, but I'm gonna put it on the defensive end. Yes, he's a good defensive player year round. Don't get me wrong, but the championship, the playoff experience, that dog, like everybody like to talk about that dog in him, come out in these playoff series when they know these vets, these people we've seen doing it year in and year out. When it come to these playoffs, you know what I'm saying? The heat turned up. Now we said it. We said it a few episodes ago. If y'all been listening, that if it had to go 7, you know, that experience, that playoff push, that DNA, it's gonna show up, and it's rearing his head now.
Yep.
But man, we got another story from the SEC. They're having meaningful talks about the field storming. So when your team finally beat Bama after many a losing years, you can't go tear down the goalpost no more.
Why not?
Butts and seats. That look
That's
like
wild.
and I ain't nothing set in stone yet, but they saying for safety, I'm doing air quotes if you just listening. You ain't gonna be able to do it no more. But I feel like that's the mystique. That's the craziness. That's the wildness. If you win one of these instant classic games, these tough, hard fought games, especially in the SEC, because it's a gauntlet. And we being honest, if you coming out of the SEC, you a playoff team and you a national championship favorite. So like almost as soon as you get into conference play, and you don't got to them teams who are making it to these playoff spots, you already in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You already playing for the playoffs already. So I feel like it's gonna take away from that real fandom that it's beautiful chaos as
The pageantry,
I
if
would
you
put
will.
it. It's like it's that emotion, that college feel, that That what brings people to college football. The beauty of it, the madness, the wildness.
Facts. Go ahead, Ant. Tell me what you think about it.
Um, I think I think Alabama's a little salty. I think Alabama snitched. Nobody, especially I think they still hurt from that hurt them. I seen that personally. Um, I mean, I guess you could say safety, but I feel like it's just hating. If that's the case. You can't, the NFL games when they win the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, NFL is a little
Right.
bit more stricter just because it's a professional. Let's college, let the kids have
Yeah, it's
fun.
billions of dollars on that NFL field.
Yeah, let the kids have fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy how it's a problem now when Tennessee popping Bama, right? When it wasn't a problem before. I just think it's
Ooh,
crazy.
when they
This
do it.
this is what separates college football from NFL football. Is it's your right as a college football fan or a college student to storm the field after you have a big upset, or storm the court if it's college hoops after you take down number 1 in the country, number 2 in the country, number
Go
3 in the country.
crazy.
Go crazy,
Go
enjoy it,
crazy.
have a ball. It is crazy that they trying to ban that. That would be ridiculous. That would be one of the worst things they've done. But we know the NCAA um, is already a poorly ran organization, and it's wild that it's the SEC. And you're
Yeah.
right, Bama snitch, bro.
Yeah.
If it's the SEC push, yeah, Bama snitch for sure.
But we
But
gonna get into why y'all here. The NFL draft is coming. It's among us. And we got an unpredictable 1 through 10. Now, things change. People throw in their little tidbits on why they think guys are going to be here or there. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that CJ Stroud could end up falling possibly to number 6. And we know who has the number 6 pick, I should say. The Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to throw this scenario at you, Chaz, because you got the Lions hat on. If you're
Yep,
listening, he got the Lions hat on. He's a homer, but he's also a Cowboys fan because he got on a Dak Prescott jersey, if y'all not watching. Now, if CJ Stroud is available at 6, do you take him?
absolutely not, bro. No, I do not. CJ Stroud is just a souped up 2.0 Jared Goff, bro. He's an
Really?
Ohio State quarterback who benefited from having a more polished scheme than 95% of his opponents until they play Michigan, who runs an NFL style defense, who shut him down 2 years in a row. He benefited from having the best receiving core in the country back to back years. These guys are NFL receivers playing against college DBs. And if you look at the history of the draft, these are the type of guys who bust, right? These are the Sam Darnold kind. These are the Baker Mayfield kind. If you're at 6, hey, strap in here. If you're at 6 and Anthony Richardson is still on the board, why not take a chance at a real X factor, a real game changer, somebody who could actually change your franchise and not just run your offense? Someone who could be an offense to himself.
So you take the project. So because my idea was if you got a quarterback available and you the Lions, you got one of these guys that's available besides Will Levis, because I do not believe in Will Levis
Nope.
at all. So let's get to that.
No,
But let's
yes,
get back.
yes, yes.
Let's get back to I'm gonna stay on track. I'm gonna stay off track. I almost got off track, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I mean, that's my fault for bringing up AR-15.
I'm
That's on
taking
me.
AR-15 if I'm right there, because we seen the Jalen Hurts, we seen the Lamar Jackson, we see all these guys, we see a Kyler
Cam,
Murray, we see all of these possibly a Trey Lance. We don't know what he's gonna be yet. Josh Allen. They big, they mobile. Besides Kyler Murray, but they big, mobile, big arm. Now, if I take him, I let him sit behind a extremely accurate quarterback in Jared Goff. Yeah, he may be lacking in the arm strength, but extremely accurate. Can throw, but I say if I'm the Lions and he's there, that X factor of his legs, like how we've seen these mobile quarterbacks. I forgot the best one, Patrick Mahomes, mobile,
Yeah.
can change the game with his legs. If you get Anthony Richardson in an NFL scheme with the right coaches and the right culture, which I think Detroit culture right now, the state it's in, I put him right there. We on the same page.
This is the best thing about it though, Melly. Is it's the fact that Detroit has time because they have Jared Goff under contract right now.
And you could
So
get
he's
get him on
he's
the
a
cheap.
great bridge quarterback. And if you see how Baltimore played Lamar his rookie year, they they had packages for Lamar and they played him later in the season, down the stretch, and they handed it over to him. But AR-15 would have a year or two to sit behind Goff and learn if he had to. If he ain't ready to go ahead and take over that spot already.
And then if Jared Goff keeps playing the way he plays, ship him for cheap. Well, ship him to somewhere else. Let some other team
Ship him.
pay for a old veteran quarterback to be a bridge guy again, and then throw AR-15 in, see if he's legit or not. But you know what I'm saying? We don't know. But if he is who he is, who they think he's gonna be, I say if he's there, you take him. You
Yeah,
take
bro.
him.
Enough playing it safe in Detroit, man. Like,
We need a dynamic. He got a
yeah,
superstar in him.
the city is ready to explode, bro. Go ahead, electrify the city. I wanted them to go after Lamar, but if they ain't gonna do that, AR-15 the next best option. Um,
Well, I
yeah,
just
bro.
say that I
They
think
got
CJ Stroud. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. But one thing I didn't think about, well, I didn't understand was Detroit should have went out for Aaron Rodgers. That's what I think. I think they should have went for A Rod, and then with that they should have traded Jared Goff to the Packers, and then had that whole conundrum with what's his name, Alan Lazard coming. Alan Lazard coming to Detroit. They're in contention for like let's be real. Like, Detroit is not a bad team at all. Great, great talent.
I just don't
nope.
think they trade in conference.
You said what? Yeah, that's
I don't think they trade
that
in
that's the only
conference.
thing I would say about that. But
That's beef.
but I will say that Jared Goff he's a good quarterback, but he will not get it done. Anthony Richardson, I'm a Gators fan. I don't believe that he's going to be. And I think that him and CJ Stroud will be productive, but I think in different ways. I think Anthony Richardson is going to show more of his athleticism and mobility outside the pocket. I think CJ Stroud is going to try to prove the analysts wrong about his IQ because I feel like that's his to question his IQ and his cognitive abilities in football when he's been playing football probably 22, 23 years is insane. So I think that both of them got stuff to prove. People probably think Anthony Richards is just Cam Newton with dreads and CJ Stroud. I mean, okay. Ohio State, yes, they did have NFL receivers. However, let's look at Dwayne Haskins too. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins was kind of in that same system. He threw for 50 touchdowns. That's why I agree with you
Yeah.
because I do agree that the Ohio State system is like a high power Chiefs offense.
It's a
Yeah,
machine.
it's a
Yeah.
so for them to throw the ball 50 times a game, I would expect them to get 50 touchdowns in the season. It just makes sense because
Yep.
most college teams are still under the guise of running power run and read option, but Ohio State not really like that. So I get that. But to your point about the Michigan State defense, is that that's the only thing that questions me about CJ is that does he know how to read a defense and does he know how to adjust at halftime? That's the best thing about a quarterback. We all play football. When quarterbacks cannot adjust, and then you talk about I see ghosts and I can't get here and yeah, you know that the quarterback is just not mentally ready. So that's the first part about him going up in that league, is that he has to be able to get over that hump, which is most of the greats do, such as Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and and other greats. So I think it,
We got controversy though. We got some more controversy around these quarterbacks. The Panthers GM said he didn't tell Young that he'd be going number one. Now it could be Cap. He could just be grabbing him anyway, but you know what I'm saying. He could be saying that just cause like, well, I didn't tell him he's going number one, but he's still gonna pick him number one anyway. But the knock on Bryce Young is now people been praising him. They've been saying Steph Curry of football. I've been hearing that, but
Yep.
they saying because dog is 5'10", and you know Kyler Murray is in the league and he's been tearing it up when he's been healthier. Like you know what I'm saying. So and Russell Wilson is not the tallest quarterback in the world. You know, so like the height thing, it's kind of like Drew Brees was short, so it's like I mean, is that what y'all gonna knock him on? Is y'all gonna talk? Is we gonna talk about the arm? Is we gonna talk about the leadership? Like the maturity, you know, he been playing NFL defenses already.
No, he hasn't. Nah. Don't do
But
that.
even he's in
Don't do
the
that.
SEC, man. He's in
Don't do
the
that.
SEC. He's in the
Exactly.
SEC, dog. He's in the SEC, and when he wasn't playing, he was on scout team playing against first round draft picks, dog. Come on, man.
All right,
Come on,
Millie.
man.
This is my thing, bro. The NFL draft, when it comes to quarterbacks, is a crapshoot. It's flipping a coin, bro. You never know who gonna hit. So if you're making a gamble on somebody, which it is a gamble, you never know who gonna pan out. Why not gamble on the 6'4", 240-pound freak athlete who runs a 4.4, 4.3 40 rather than the 5'10", 185-pound kid who throws a pretty spiral and can read a field. I feel like at his best, Bryce Young could be what? Russell Wilson? At his worst, he could be Tua, concussion prone, holding the ball too long, getting hit.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Undersized. He's not Kyler. He does not have Kyler's athleticism.
I know
He does
I know
not
he
have
ain't- I know
Kyler's
he ain't Kyler. I was
Kyler's
just saying,
build.
like as far as stature, you know what I'm saying? Like they saying they
Yeah,
talking
but
about the stature and his height.
Right. Yeah, but Kyler's jacked. That's the difference. Bryce skinny. That's the difference. That boy gonna get suplexed by Will Anderson, and he gonna feel it.
Man.
Anthony Richardson not gonna feel it.
So you saying
I see what this is turning
so
into.
Chaz, this is what I'm getting from you right now. So if you was the Panthers, you taking Anthony Richardson.
What you're getting from me right now is
That's what I'm getting.
I don't like any of these quarterbacks. You know, honestly, you wanna know who I like the most? Who I like the most in this draft?
Go ahead, bro.
I like Dorian Thompson Robinson the most. I like DTR.
Now
I feel like
we seeing eye to eye right now.
because if you look at it, right, the quarterbacks who gonna succeed are gonna be those ones who had some adversity in college, but also have above average athleticism. DTR threw the fastest ball at the combine. He threw
bro,
harder than Will
hold on.
Levis,
He
harder than
hurdling
AR.
people for fun. If you cut on the
He's
tape,
hurdling people for fun. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson, bro. He does. He just wasn't in the Clemson offense. He wasn't in the Clemson system.
Lamar in him.
He got some Lamar in his game with a little less sauce. I'm telling you, bro, this draft is not strong at quarterback. You're better off taking a chance, grabbing a freak athlete, and if it don't work, Caleb Williams is coming out next year. Drake May's coming out next year. Michael Penix is coming out next year. And all these GMs and coaches who draft a quarterback early and fail all end up getting fired within a year or two. So why not take a chance on a super athlete?
Check it out, though.
Talk to me.
When you said
Please, talk to me.
DTR, and I was gonna go on here and I wasn't gonna say it, but Hendon Hooker is in this draft.
I like Hendon.
If you a guy,
I don't love him though.
I'm just saying. If you
talk to me,
I'm just saying the ACL injury is not the same ramifications as it was before, and he's an older guy. Smart kid. You know what I'm saying? Started at Virginia Tech, so ain't no question of intelligence. Went to Tennessee, tore it up.
Right.
They said he was old. I get it. He playing against younger guys. I get it, but you got to produce in the SEC. Now, if you a guy, again, if you got to sit a QB for a year, why not? If you ain't thinking it's the strongest and you got to shore up that quarterback room and you can have a guy in-house who's a ACL, you know what I'm saying, recovery away, got the best equipment in the world, best trainers in the world. Who's to say? I like him. I like him a lot better than I like Anthony Richardson, to be honest. But just because of the knee injury, I'm looking at him crazy. But if I got to take a guy who's done it and he a little bit older, yeah, I don't know. It's a wobbler. It's unpredictable. Like you said, it's a crapshoot. But I'm thinking these first picks, I feel like the narratives that's been getting put out, it's looking like it ain't gonna be as cut and dry as we make it seem, and as people think it's gonna be. But we could be completely wrong.
Yeah. And you want to tackle this? You want to tackle Hendon Hooker before I do?
Um,
Teddy, bro, I wrote that down in my notes. Teddy.
Underrated. Has some areas of opportunity, but because he's older, he gives off the impression that he has a like superficial leadership qualities. Like I feel like he's just good. He can lead a team, but I'll be a good player. That's what he seems like to me. But he is a good player. I mean, I like him over Anthony Richardson too.
Yep.
Because I mean, like, because the only thing they highlight about Anthony Richardson is like his athletic ability and his freak ability. But like, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a 6'4" beach boy. You know what I'm saying? He probably was pushing carts at Myers. You know what I'm saying? He was average. He was average Joe. But I think he just had the tenacity and then the ethic, the work ethic to work hard, and become Tom Brady and learn the system. Now, if we have Anthony Richardson coming in, he don't want to learn the system. He want
Yes.
to run around and just throw deep
I
balls.
want to piggyback off that.
Yeah, it's over with.
Go ahead, Josh.
So, this is one thing, too, why I think Hendon Hooker will find success and why I'm hoping Anthony Richardson will find success is I feel like they'll be later draft picks and they'll go to more stable organizations. If they go to one of these, either one of them go to one of these poverty franchises, they will not succeed in the NFL. And I really think that Hendon could, probably go to like a New England or something late. And that's gonna benefit him a lot. I'm glad you brought up Tom Brady because I was just thinking like, what would be a good fit for Hendon? Like a Pittsburgh, a New England, something like that.
Mike T
But
got him right.
yeah, Mike T will get him right, bro. So, I mean, where you land is almost more important than who you are in the NFL draft because all these guys can play a little bit at least, right? They wouldn't be here if they couldn't. So fit is gonna be a big thing. But yeah, bro, I still think Anthony Richardson is a better prospect than Hendon Hooker because he's 20 years old. Who knows what he can become?
To
You
be
talk about
quite,
yeah,
to
you
be
talk
quite
about like
honest,
go ahead.
to be quite honest, I'm a defensive guy. So
Yep.
I'm saying, if I'm the Lions, right? Because they saying grab Tyree Wilson, and
I'm not mad at the Lions for going defense. I'm not.
if he's there, but they're saying Carter's gonna be gone. Tyree Wilson giving me kind of that. He giving me that Trayvon Walker vibes where he a big prototype guy. Do we really want to proceed in that way with him? Like, I don't know.
You said Tyreek?
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm really believing in Tyree. I don't know, man. I haven't watched no tape. It seemed like every year they come out with some like freak athlete
This the
DN.
Texas Tech kid, right?
Yeah, Texas Tech. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I'm like,
I seen his film, bro. He got something to him. He does. He
okay,
but that's not the issue in Detroit, right? Like, if anything, I feel
I
like
think
they
it's the
should
middle.
go interior. Yeah, I think they should go interior D line if they're gonna go D line. If not, grab a DB, please. Grab a linebacker, please. They don't need another edge. They have two very solid edges. So
I
to
say
grab one at 6, where you got a chance to grab a franchise changing player, why
If
grab
Jalen
another
Carter
edge?
slips and he's there
Take
for
him.
whatever reason because of the controversy, I say take him. The Lions said they feel better about him after he visited. And
Hmm.
Christian Gonzalez could possibly be there. I would take Christian Gonzalez, you know, OU guy, and go Ducks. You feel me? Um, First and
Eh,
foremost, throw Christian Gonzalez in there, bro. Like if you ain't got no, and then I would say try and get
I
another
like
veteran
Witherspoon
D
better.
tackle. Find a veteran D tackle or something, bro, or
Yep.
trade the pick. Because I'm like, it seemed like y'all in between a rock and a hard place. Trade the pick, get a vet D tackle if you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because I was sure up them DBs, bro. Because
Yeah.
yeah, bro, you in a conference where you got to play Justin Jefferson twice. You playing like you can't be splitting with the Vikings. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? What's the
I mean, you
boy
got to see
Christian?
DJ Moore. You got to see DJ Moore and Mooney now.
Yeah, you got to see DJ Moore now. We don't. Justin Fields gonna be a problem. Jordan Love. We don't know what Jordan Love gonna be. He showed a little bit of
A
flashes, but
dog.
Christian Watson is a burner,
Yep.
and he can run past anybody. So
Yep.
you gotta play him twice too. Regardless, a clock is right 2 times a day. If he can get open 2 times a game, that can go for 6. So if you
Big thing with the NFL. And it seems like it's every year. They always try to have these edge guys go so early, but you can find edge guys in the fourth, fifth, sixth round. I think it's all about the opportunity.
like James Houston,
Yeah, exactly. And and
Exactly.
how you scale their productivity. Because like Trayvon Walker, like what did he have? 12 and a half sacks in a year? What how much? Let me say a 6.5. He didn't do that well this year. But even at Bama,
Nope.
he wasn't that good. So why are we? Why?
he was at Georgia, but
I'm
yeah,
sorry, yeah, Georgia, yeah. The other guy coming from Bama, that's who coming this year. Yeah,
Will
Will
Anderson.
Anderson from
yeah,
Bama.
well,
Yep.
yeah. He's a good player too. Both of them are good players, but I think Trayvon Walker, like he was, and he's not that good with it.
Trayvon Walker he had 3.5 sacks this
Yeah,
year. He started in 14 of the 15 games he appeared in. 49 total tackles. Um, yeah, number one overall pick for you right there.
yeah, he's going in the
But
gulag.
I don't think
He's in the gulag.
Will Anderson gonna be out of here. He been a proven SEC player. The narrative I heard. Let's bring it back to last week or last episode. Trade for Trey Lance. Trade the pick for
Yep.
Trey Lance. I get it. We don't know what Trey Lance is, but throwing
Not
that
that big.
narrative out there, maybe the Niners, shop him.
All right,
One
so
of these
hold on,
players
bro.
that want a quarterback, you gotta shop him.
Houston has 2 first-round draft picks this year.
Shop him.
So I'm saying if you're willing to, they got 2 and they got 12. I think even 12 is a bit rich for Trey Lance. Maybe send a third rounder or a second rounder. See if Shanahan play ball. Because 2 and 12 overall from Houston, I think that's too valuable to give up for Trey Lance.
You know what I think though? I think, and I hate to even say this, but if San Fran and Baltimore get together, I think that 2 or 12 go to Baltimore. If Lamar doesn't want to play, I think that'd be a good fit.
Be an amazing fit.
Sheesh.
It's tough. Him and Debo.
Phenomenal.
Lamar with a run game and a defense and a good O coordinator, a great O coordinator.
That's
Yeah,
scary.
they beat the
Hey,
Cowboys.
Melvin.
Yo,
Who's
talk
your
to me.
favorite player in the draft this year?
My favorite player?
Yep. You know who mine is. Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
They saying he coming. They say he coming to Dallas.
I love a good Texas back. Pause. If he's coming to
Yeah.
Dallas, don't look at me like that, bro. I don't think there's a chance that we actually. I don't think he's still there, right? Because we got the Chargers ahead of us. We got
They
Detroit ahead of us
stopping
twice.
Eckler.
We got Atlanta ahead of us. We got Tennessee ahead of us. A lot of teams that could go RB. But if B. John does fall to the boys, we back
You know who?
and we giving them
I
21.
I'm gonna say this, and I think this player gonna be a game changer where they got him projected. Cause I seen him abuse my Ducks. Dalton Kincaid,
Oh
who
yeah,
can
yeah,
be an
yeah.
X factor, and who I hated to watch him play against my team, but everybody else, I was, you know, hoop background.
Kincaid
We
nasty.
know how that come into play with these tight ends. Antonio Gates was a hooper. Tony Gonzalez was a hooper. You know what I'm saying? Crazy athlete. Now, he was my favorite to watch for show game changer.
Here.
Boy CeeLo on the cam. But yeah, that's my player. If I'm gonna go outside, I ain't gonna be a typical D lineman and just straight up take a defensive end because that's easy. I could just say Will, but
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Dalton. I
That's a good one.
dog. He gonna be.
CeeLo, who your
I
favorite
hope he
player in
don't
the
come to the
draft, bro?
north and abuse the Lions.
Before I say that, did we already talk about Hendon Hooker being a
Go
good fit
ahead.
for the Bucks?
No.
Bucks?
Oh, we did not say that. Go ahead.
No,
Give me
Oh
your
yeah,
2 cents.
I think that'll be a great fit for Hendon Hooker to go to the Bucks. I think that'll be a great fit, dude.
I agree.
Hey, I could see Hendon Hooker being what Jameis should have been for the Bucks.
Ooh.
I think better decision maker, better leader.
Jameis went 1 overall, bro. That's high hopes for Hendon Hooker. Go ahead.
Exactly.
You
Tell
said
me
it
about it.
yourself, crapshoot, Chaz.
I
I'm
know.
just saying.
I'm not disagreeing.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not saying Hendon gonna get drafted high, but I feel like if the Bucks are looking for a QB, which I think Baker Mayfield is literally like a lifeline QB for them.
Yeah, he's a bridge Q.
Yeah, he's a lifeline QB for them. I say Bucks draft Hendon, and Hendon is going to be what Jameis should have been for the Buccaneers. More athletic, in my opinion.
Of
He
course.
is.
Not as strong as arm. We all know J-Bo has one of the strongest arms still.
Yeah, that boy had a Bayou arm. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just think that athleticism may be able to help a stale Bucks offense next season if they would draft him. So I think Hendon Hooker should fall with the Bucks.
Hey, you know what's crazy is I said I feel like Hendon Hooker and DTR are going to benefit from getting drafted later because I feel like they'll go to more solid franchises. And I didn't name the Bucks. That's a good one. I named like Pittsburgh, New England. You know, somebody who could take a Q late. I really like that Bucks fit. That's a great fit.
And now to my favorite player in the draft. I'm gonna say CJ Stroud.
CJ?
I'm gonna say CJ Stroud. Probably I don't care. He's my favorite player in the draft. Because this draft, there's not very many players that I could name an offensive lineman or so, but like nobody knows that. But like if
Go
I'm
ahead.
going,
I'm here for the Peter Skorowski talk.
I'm cool. If I'm going with a name brand player, I'm saying I want CJ Stroud. That's probably my favorite player in the draft. Don't care about the S2, the cognitive test.
Nah, me neither.
Care about
Nope.
don't care about none of the combine numbers.
No.
That dude can ball. That dude is a baller, bro.
So do you want to see him in Houston at 2?
I would say no. Reason
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
say
Me neither.
no. Reason I'm gonna say no is because as much as I love the moves that Houston made in the offseason with grabbing D'Amico, grabbing some good key players, they still don't have enough, I don't think. So I'm still seeing them fall last in the AFC South. Maybe third. Possible wild card, maybe. I don't even think at that point. Maybe they might win one more game than what they won this past season. Who knows?
Dang.
I want to see the Texans fail again.
Yeah.
That way we can possibly get another lottery pick next year
Yep.
and grab Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. One of those two.
But who gonna throw it to him?
We'll find somebody.
All right, man.
Anybody.
We'll
I'll throw the
find
ball
somebody.
to Marvin Harrison.
I'll
Jr.
say this about
I'll
CJ
get it to
Stroud
him.
though. He in that Georgia game, you know what I'm saying? He a knuckleball kick
Incredible.
away from beating up on TCU in the Natty. But
Yep.
he changed my whole perspective on CJ, dog. That game, and when Caleb said that he is his favorite player, I immediately thought about that game against Georgia. If y'all ain't watched no other games and you cut on that Georgia tape, you'll be like, okay, he doing this against the defending national champion, who in the next game destroyed TCU. So I'm like,
That was the national championship. To me, that was the national championship.
basically because I ain't watching none of that TCU game, but
Alright.
CJ Stroud gave Kirby Smart a heart attack.
Sorry, brother. Michigan was going to get the same as TCU. They was going to get the same treatment.
I know, but we mopped Ohio State by 20, so
That's cool.
how they getting the Natty over us?
Hey, man, completely different team when them big lights on.
I will say this, right? I do
They both
think
lost.
CJ finally played
Right.
how we all knew he was capable of in that Georgia game. That was easily the best game he played all year, probably of his career, besides maybe Utah in the Rose Bowl the year before.
I ain't counting the Utah
Um,
game. They was down a bunch of players. But that was his show.
But-
That was his show it to me, prove it moment.
But that's bro. That's him going nuts in college, and I want to project who I think he'll be in the league, and I don't think he's gonna be that guy that we saw against Georgia in the league.
What's his ceiling?
that's why-
give me a ceiling player, Chaz. Give me a ceiling player and give me a floor.
His ceiling is Dak. His floor is Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton?
Yes.
You just called him Jared Goff a couple minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
You said his floor. Floor is the worst, right?
All right. I feel like floor. All right. Give me.
So you mean by his base? His
give me the
base.
base. Not
Yeah,
not
okay.
Not the base. Not the basement. The base.
Yeah. So the base, yeah, I would say is golfish, Jared Golfish. His ceiling is Dakish, right? You see Dak, he'll run the ball sometimes. When he does, it's usually highly effective, usually for touchdowns or first downs.
Okay.
Accurate guy, very smart. Like that's if CJ like becomes his best self. He's a way better natural thrower than Dak, but I don't think he's half the commander that Dak is, right? Like CJ was, like I said, he benefited a lot from being in that Ohio State system. I hope he does prove me wrong because I do like him as a person from everything I've seen, all the interviews and stuff. And I actually watched him play in person this year in East Lansing against Michigan State. And the dude is big, bro. You don't realize how big some of these quarterbacks are. CJ is a big dude. And it was a 56-7 blowout. You know, Michigan State was bad this year, but I mean, I liked what I saw in that game, but you know, I got mixed feelings about who I think he's gonna be in the league.
All right. Caleb, you got any final remarks?
Yeah, I mean, can I get my base, ceiling, and floor
Absolutely, please do.
for CJ Stroud?
Yeah.
Honestly, if we gonna go, if floor, I'm gonna start with floor. I'll say his floor would be a Teddy Bridgewater type career.
Okay. A
Would
Scott
be-
said that. Y'all.
That's what I gave Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
No, yeah, A. Scott
I
said
can
about
I
Hendon
can say
Hooker.
the
My
same
bad.
thing for
That's
Hendon
his
Hooker,
floor. Yep.
but for CJ Stroud, I'm gonna give him a Teddy Bridgewater-ish for a floor. His base could be very well rounded. I almost want to say, and I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna stick with some uh QBs. I'm gonna say his base
You
could
ain't like
be
Kyle Orton, bro?
no.
All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
think about this. Think about this, bro. We gonna take a step back. His base could possibly be like a McNabbish type career.
McNabb.
Pretty good.
McNabb.
Pretty good base.
That's a
Great.
solid
That's a
base.
great
It's a
name.
solid base.
That's a solid base, and I think that could happen depending on which team scoop him and how he develop. If he, what I'm saying, if he see like most Ohio State guys, they normally get into a good groove in the NFL, and it's just these last upcoming years where we see a lot of the Ohio States sticking to and staying in these positions, these QB positions. Like you had Cardell, who was a backup for a while with the Chargers. You know, you had
JT Barrett,
JT Barrett. You even had Braxton Miller. He didn't come
Terrell
in.
Pryor played a little
Terrell
Q.
Pryor. You know what I mean? A lot of these good dudes had decent careers in the NFL. Not decent as in like, oh yeah, like I'm a remember it, but like decent enough to where they stayed in the league for 5-6 years.
You know what? That's similar to a lot of the Bama quarterbacks too. But
Yeah,
I would say Bama even better. Like those Bama guys stuck around in the league in backup spots. Them Ohio State guys, they didn't stick around like the Bama boys did. And like
nah,
I'm
that's
saying,
true.
neither one of them were putting out great NFL quarterbacks, but they did have a lot because they just dominated in college. And I think Justin's gonna break that curse. Justin Fields is gonna break that curse from Ohio State, but it's high hopes for
Yeah,
CJ, man. I
I
don't
kind of
know.
take him as an original. He was an original Georgia boy that
Yeah,
got forced out.
right.
But hey, man, we talked about the
and
draft, we covered the NFL, college drama, NBA again. But I'm going to get us up out of here. But before y'all go, if y'all didn't already, like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Share with your granny, your auntie, your cousins, your mama, brother, you know what I'm saying, brother-in-law, all that. Share it. I don't care who you share it to. It's free. It's free to like the video. It's free to subscribe. We're going to keep bringing y'all great content, shorts. We're going to bring y'all clips. If y'all don't want to watch the full hour and a half, I feel like this is our longest one. But we getting better at this. We getting the chemistry. I'm introducing y'all new cast members. You know what I'm saying? A. Scott was with us today, Brother Scott.
Big brother Scott.
The
Good to see
usual
you.
suspects and Caleb and Chaz, the gang. And this has been the 1ELEVEN show. I'm going to shoot us up out of here.
It's been a pleasure,
Till
as
next
always.
time.